Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now, the information about the events that happened in the ATO area during the last 24 hours and about training of Ukrainian armed forces. In Svetlodarsk Bulge, the day started with massive military actions that lasted for 5 hours. The enemy attacked, supported by armored vehicles, mortars and cannons, launching tons of mines and shells. After this, in this area, there were 2 more enemy shellings that lasted 4 hours. The enemy failed to seize new positions of ATO, and that's why the occupants tried to find the ways how to attack from the flank. And there were shellings in Troitsk and Vozdvizhense, former Krasny Pahar. The enemy actively used heavy weapons, mortars and cannons, howitzers. They use the whole batteries of these weapons. And also enemy artillery damaged the Mironivka village, and in Svetlodarsk they damaged the residential house and police car. And in the region of ATO today, according to the agreement of Trilateral Contact Group, Christmas ceasefire was introduced that envisages full ceasefire without any time limits. And today at 11, the enemy violated this agreement and delivered 4 shellings in Lugansk and Mariupolsk areas. Now information about other areas. In Lugansk area, the main military actions were after 5 p.m. In Novozvanovka, the enemy used cannons and mortars, and in Siza, the enemy used Grad system. Also, 1 more mortar shelling was in Zhovte. Moreover, the occupants violated ceasefire in Stanitsa Luganska, Lobachova, and Nova Alexandrovka. On the whole, in the Lugansk area, there were 10 enemy shellings, half of which were the use of heavy weapons. At that, they launched 15 mines, 35 artillery shells, and 4 Grad shells. The Donetsk area, except Troitske, Novolugansk part of front line, active military actions were also in other areas. The enemy was active in Gorlovsky perimeter. The enemy shelled at our positions in adjacent Toretsk and northern and southern Pivnichna to Pivdenna, and in Verkhny Toretsk and Novoselivka Druga. Half of shellings with the use of heavy weapons, and in northern, in Pivnichna, the enemy damaged 2 residential houses. In Avdiivka production area, there were 5 firing incidents between ATO forces and occupants, and most heavy were 4th and 5th that were in the evening and lasted 7 hours, and it was supported by dense mortar fire, and the enemy launched 170 mines at our positions. In positions of Shakhta Butivka, there were these positions were shelled by the enemy for 3 hours from the side of Spartak. In Donetsk airport, it was calm. During the last 24 hours, in the Donetsk area, there were 19 enemy shelling, including 13 with the use of heavy weapons and 1 military clash. The Mariupol area, the main event of the day was military clash in Vodyane. There, the ATO forces were attacked by a subversive group consisting of 8 persons. The military actions lasted 20 minutes. The situation remains tense, and in Talakivka Shurokina part of front line, both during the day and at night, the enemy continued to fire with mortars and artillery, and the enemy launched about 120 different shells of different caliber at our positions. And also there was a short-term shelling near the Kuchaevsk. And after 7:30, the enemy stopped its activity and didn't disturb our servicemen. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol area, there were 19 enemy shelling, 11 with the use of heavy weapons, and 1 military clash. During the last 24 hours, as a result of the military actions, no serviceman was killed and 1 serviceman was wounded and 4 were shell-shocked. National Guard detained a woman who was the militants' proxy. She was stopped at the checkpoint near Mariupol. In the course of checking of the documents, they established that this woman is connected with the militants, and SBU also found 5 caches of ammunition in the region of ATO. These caches were in the forest and in abandoned houses in Vanivka and Shirokine villages of Donetsk Oblast, Starobilske, and Liman and Muratovo of Lugansk Oblast. From there, they confiscated 2 anti-tank grenade launchers, RPG-26 mortar mine, 8 grenade launcher shells and 10 grenades, 1 kilogram of plastide, and 1,000 of cartridges of different caliber. And throughout Ukraine, they carry out training of 2016. In Zhytomyrskyna, they held paratrooper training. The commander of this training is Lieutenant General of paratroopers Mikhail Zabrodsky. There were the representatives of general staff and also the representatives of other organizations, and they were also testing some military equipment that our paratroopers will use in their service. And in Mykolaievsky, there were also training of paratroopers. They were parachuted, and there were the training for 500 servicemen, and half of them, they had this day their first jump. So do you have questions? No questions? Thank you and goodbye.